Is the motion seconded? Give the call to member for Riverina.
The motion is seconded, absolutely, Mr Speaker, and suspension of standing and sessional orders is very important because we now have 1 hour and 15 minutes left of this parliament this week. And it's so important that the member for Maribyrnong, the Minister for the NDIS, responsible for one of the most important parts of government, comes back into this chamber and explains why he has, accidentally or otherwise, misled the House on this very important issue. He cannot have gone through his files and found that the coalition, when in government, did nothing about fraud in this important space. To say otherwise is to malign those very good, hard-working ministers of the coalition who did absolutely everything to make sure that any fraudulent activity was not only addressed but was brought to heel by the then government. And the member for Maribyrnong has been here since 2007. He knows better than to go to that dispatch box and suggest that something otherwise was done. Indeed, we put in place measures to absolutely crack down on fraudulent activity. And you heard from the member for Bradfield, who feels slighted by the fact that something else was suggested. The member for McPherson, who produced a media release, who absolutely said that not only were we cracking down on fraudulent activity, but there was a fellow who was arrested for doing that very thing.
The member for Riverina will pause. The member for Hasluck, it doesn't assist the continual interjections. The member for Riverina has the call.
Solo mo quae votrav yen on son. Maybe he's thinking of adventures in gay Paris. Maybe his speechwriter have suggested otherwise, that he has got his mind on other things, maybe ambassadorial roles. But he knows better than to go to that dispatch box in question time where the truth is important. The truth is important. And when you are a minister, you have to tell the truth. Now, whether it's accident or otherwise, he has absolutely misled this House, we do believe, and it's important that he's got an hour and 12 minutes to come back into this chamber. The House of Practice it absolutely demands he do so. We are requesting that he does so. Convention by the Westminster system absolutely makes it crystal clear that he should come back into this House and explain himself. Come back into this House and admit that he was wrong. It's not hard to say you were wrong. It's up to him to say that he was wrong, and he knows that he was wrong. He can't suggest that the coalition never put out a media release, and his file suggests that there was no media release, because we know and we've proven in these statements that the otherwise was the actual fact. And it's absolutely plain as day. The member for McPherson, the then Home Affairs Minister, says all Australians suffer when public money is defrauded. That's why this government, the coalition government, is serious about taking strong action to protect against fraud. It's rather damning to suggest that the coalition, when in government, did not do anything about fraud in the NDIS space. And for the minister, the former opposition leader, who led Labor to the 2016 and 2019 elections, not quite sure how that went for him, but he is very senior. He's been in this place as the member for Maribyrnong since 2007. It's incumbent upon him to come back into this chamber and to explain himself, to admit that he got it wrong, to admit that that speechwriter that we're paying $600,000 worth of taxpayers' money, perhaps that person got it wrong. But somebody got it wrong. The buck stops with him, because he was the one who said it. He was the one who erroneously claimed that the now opposition, the then government, did nothing to crack down on fraud in the NDIS. We did. We did, and we've had minister after minister say that very thing. We've got the media releases. I hear the member for Watson. We've proven it. We can table those media releases. Obviously, that the member for Maribyrnong says he hasn't got them in his files, but he would. He only has to ask his department, and they would have produced them. So to suggest anything else is breaching convention, is breaching the Westminster system, is breaching the House of Practice, and is breaching the good grace of this parliament, where truth is important. Labor came to office in May 2022 and they said, we will restore integrity, we'll let the sunshine in, we'll be transparent. This minister today has not been any of those things, and it's up to him to come back into this chamber now And if the member for Watson, who is ever following me in this speech, is just got an absolute slight even consideration of how important House of Practice is, how important the Westminster system is, and here he is. And here he is. Thankfully, he's going to hopefully make that truth be accountable.
The question is